Hi, friends. Miss Anna here for our weekly church school lesson. This Sunday is the first Sunday of Lent, which is a season in the church that begins with Ash Wednesday, which was this last Wednesday, and leads all the way up through Holy Week and ends with Easter at the beginning of April this year. Lent is a season where we slow down, where we spend some time listening to ourselves, but most importantly, listening to how God is speaking to us. And we try and kind of clear away some of the extra stuff in our lives so we can focus on what God is saying to us. I think this year that might be a little easier than other years because a lot of the stuff that's normally in our life has kind of been cleared out for us because there's a lot of activities we can't do, a lot of trips we're not taking. And so there's really a lot more space this year to really listen for how God's talking to us. We're going to be using a special devotional that's going to be linked in our emails and on our children's webpage. And I'll be using that for the Sundays through Lent. If you don't have access to it there, feel free to email me at my church email, and you can, and I'll send you what you need to follow along with us. So our Bible verse today comes from the book of Matthew, which is one of our Gospels at the beginning of the New Testament, from chapter 6, verses 19 through 21. And this particular section of the Bible is called the Sermon on the Mount, which is a time when Jesus had a lot of wisdom he was sharing with people. And one of the big things that Jesus was doing was trying to help people rethink about some very important things. That a lot of us have kind of routines we get in, we think things are a certain way, but Jesus liked to challenge people and challenges us to think about things differently. And that if we set our hearts on God and then consider the things around us, that God might be looking at things differently than we do. So this verse from Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 through 21 goes like this. Do not store up for yourselves treasures on earth, where moth and rust consume, and where thieves break in and steal. But store up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust consumes, and where thieves do not break in and steal. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, there was lots of stuff I liked to collect. I collected special erasers that were in special shapes. I collected some stickers. I had a pretty big stuffed animal collection. So I had all this stuff that I would collect that made me happy, and I enjoyed it at the time. But as time went on, a lot of those things didn't last. The erasers kind of started to fall apart. The stickers faded. Stuffed animals got kind of dusty and yucky, and so they didn't last. And that's kind of what Jesus is saying. He's saying that the stuff that we kind of gather on earth, the things that we like, just don't last forever. That's how they are. The things on earth are not here forever. They eventually kind of wear down or they get lost. But Jesus says there are other things that we can save up that don't get destroyed by dust or time, that they stay with us forever. I had another collection that I started as a kid, and I still have now. I had a box kind of like this, and I would put in it special notes or maybe a little flower or things that would remind me of people, maybe a particular picture. And it wasn't the things in particular that I put in there that were special, but it was what they represented. They represented special memories or things I had learned or things that I knew were true. And so even if that box disappeared and I lost it, the things that I had saved in there are always with me, about how much God loves me, about who I am, about the memories I've had with people, and the love that I've shared with others. All those things never ever go away, just like the love that God has for us. And so when Jesus says to store up our treasures in heaven, not storing up our treasures here on earth, that we can have a whole house full of expensive, fancy, fun things, but they don't last forever. But the things we do when we make choices and say things that are right with God, that influence other people, those things never ever go away. The things that change our heart never ever go away. So this week I want you guys to think about, what are the things that you're storing up? What treasures in heaven are you storing up? What kind of love are you sharing with the world? How is your heart changing? How are you getting to know yourself more? All the things that go with us forever, just like God's love. I will be thinking about you guys this week, and I hope to hear from some of you guys about what kind of things, what treasures you're storing up this week. Love you, and I'll see you soon.